Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we're taking a deep dive into Avalanche. It's one of those blockchains that's really trying to fix some of crypto's biggest headaches. We're talking speed and cost. We're going to break down its super unique tech, take a tour of the coolest projects built on it, and then peek into what the future might hold. Ready? Let's jump in.
All right, first things first, let's set the scene. To really get why something like Avalanche is such a big deal, you kind of have to understand the problem it's trying to solve. And it's a problem that's been bugging blockchains pretty much from day one.
So, have you ever been there? You're trying to do something simple on a big blockchain and you just get stuck. The fees are just ridiculous, and then you're just sitting there watching the clock tick, waiting for your transaction to finally go through. It's a massive pain, right? And it really puts the brakes on everything from DeFi to gaming.
Well, that is the exact problem Avalanche was engineered to crush. It was designed from the ground up to be way more than just another fast network. It's actually a platform for building your own, totally custom blockchains. And that's a real game changer.
Okay, so what makes it tick? What's the secret sauce under the hood? How in the world does Avalanche pull off this crazy combo of speed and customization? Well, it all comes down to its really unique architecture.
So the magic ingredient here is something called a subnet. Now picture this. Think of the main Avalanche network as this huge, super secure highway. A subnet, that's like getting to build your very own private, high-speed express lane right next to it. You get to decide the rules, the fees, the speed limit, basically everything. And you still get all the security of that main highway. Pretty cool, huh?
And that main highway we were talking about, it's ridiculously fast. We're talking about the network handling something like 4,500 transactions every single second. To put that in perspective, it's hundreds of times faster than some of the older, more established blockchains. It's this raw horsepower that stops those digital traffic jams we all hate.
But raw speed is only part of the equation. Here's the other part that'll blow your mind. On Avalanche, your transaction is done. Permanent, confirmed, irreversible, in less than 2 seconds. Just let that sink in for a moment. If you're doing a financial trade or buying something in a game, that kind of instant finality is, it's everything.
And really, this just hits the nail on the head. This is the core idea. You get the freedom to build a blockchain that is perfectly tailored for whatever you need. A game, a big corporate application, some niche DeFi protocol, and you don't have to give up on security or your connection to the huge Ethereum ecosystem. It's the best of both worlds.
All right, so now that we've got a handle on the tech, let's go on a tour. Let's check out the buzzing digital cities and landmark projects that have actually been built on this incredible foundation.
Okay, this gives us a fantastic bird's-eye view of the whole landscape. And what you'll notice right away is that it's not a one-trick pony. Not at all. You've got this massive DeFi scene with big names like Trader Joe. Then you've got a booming gaming and NFT world with hits like DeFi Kingdoms. And of course, you have the crucial infrastructure like the Avalanche Bridge that holds it all together. This kind of variety, that's the hallmark of a really healthy, thriving ecosystem. So, our first stop on the tour is the DeFi Hub, the busy financial district. This is where you'll find the giants, Pangolin and Trader Joe. These are basically decentralized exchanges, or DEXs, where you can swap tokens super fast and cheap. Then you've got platforms like Benki, which are kind of like decentralized banks, where you can lend, borrow, and earn interest on your crypto.
All right, next up, let's wander over to the gaming and NFT metropolis. This is the creative district where things get really fun. You've got NFT marketplaces like Kalau for all your digital art and collectibles, and then you have these full-blown games like DeFi Kingdoms with their own real, complex economies. And it all just runs so smoothly because of Avalanche's speed.
Okay, so we've seen the tech, we've visited some of the biggest projects, but what does all of this actually mean for you, for a user or a developer? What can you really do on Avalanche?
Well, it basically boils down to 4 main things. 1, you can do all your DeFi stuff, swapping, lending, farming at lightning speed. 2, you can dive into games where your in-game items have actual real-world value and trade them on NFT marketplaces. 3, businesses can spin up their own private or public blockchains using those subnets we talked about. And 4, and this is a big one, you can seamlessly bridge your assets over from places like Ethereum and put them to work.
Now, no tour is complete without looking at what's on the horizon, right? Every cutting-edge technology has its hurdles to clear, so it's really important to get a sense of both the potential roadblocks and the super exciting possibilities ahead.
And this lays it all out really well, the two sides of the coin. On the one hand, you've got potential challenges. Having all these different subnets could spread money and users out a bit too thin. That's what we call liquidity fragmentation. And let's be real, the competition from other super-fast blockchains is fierce. But on the other hand, the future looks incredibly bright. We're talking about major companies adopting subnets, an explosion in gaming and NFTs, and Avalanche really solidifying its spot as a top-tier ecosystem.
Okay, so we've done a whirlwind tour of the tech, the projects, and the road ahead for Avalanche. So what's the big takeaway here? What's the one thing you really need to remember?
Here it is. Avalanche is not just another fast blockchain. It's so much more. That subnet idea makes it more like a flexible network of networks. It's a platform built for a future where literally any application, finance, gaming, you name it, can have its very own custom-built blockchain to run on.
And that really leaves us with a big final question to chew on. By giving everyone the power to launch their own specialized blockchain, is Avalanche actually showing us the blueprint for the internet of the future? You know, one that's more decentralized, more customizable, and where everything works together seamlessly? We'll leave you with that thought.
And hey, before we wrap up, just a quick but really important reminder. This was all for educational and informational purposes. It is absolutely not financial advice. The crypto space is incredibly high risk and volatile, so please always do your own research before making any kind of financial decision. Thanks so much for tuning in.